Hey everyone, it's Frankie, your business vlogger here. Today I'm going to go over the byte app. What is it and will it survive? So if this is the first time you're hearing about the byte app, essentially the byte app is meant to be the revival of Vine. So Vine was created several years ago and it was eventually bought out by Twitter, and the Vine app was a social media platform that allowed users to be able to share 6-second videos. Now, back then, it was huge because this was one of the few platforms that had created something new, and that was the 6-second video. And it ended up doing very well at the beginning. It had over 200 million users at one point. However, Twitter wasn't able to keep it going any longer, and at the end of 2016, early 2017, they ended up just shutting down the service. Now, there are many reasons why Vine probably failed. One of the ones that I've read about, and one of the ones that I think might be one of the biggest contributing factors, is that a lot of creators, the ones that essentially brought Vine to the level it had gotten to, they started leaving to other platforms such as YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat. And that was because the Vine app itself didn't do a lot to help creators monetize their content or their presence. So what we have now is that one of the co-founders of Vine ended up releasing a new application that is meant to be the revival of Vine. And this application is Byte. So now let's talk about whether or not Byte can survive. I think that at the end of the day, it's way too early to be able to know if it can. But it's also important to keep in mind that there are a bunch of different social media apps like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, all of which already have people's attention. So for Byte to be good enough to be able to take other people's attention from other apps, that is going to be something that Byte needs to think deeply about and be able to think about how they're able to differentiate themselves from the other apps. TikTok, for example, is a relatively new app that's been growing in popularity all over the world, and it's always implementing a bunch of different things. They're implementing rewards programs. They have augmented reality features within the app. And for Byte to be able to compete against that, it's going to take them some time, right? If they can actually end up competing against TikTok. So now I have a few ideas that I think Byte could potentially use to be able to succeed. And I'm not an expert in any of this, but these are just some ideas that came to mind based on what I've seen articles talk about, or from what I've seen that other competitors have been able to successfully implement. The first one, and it's one of the ones that I mentioned earlier as one of the reasons why Vine potentially fell through, was the focus on creators. So I think that if Byte is able to focus on creators and is able to monetize the creators' content and their presence, that way creators decide to create within Byte, that can definitely help the platform grow even more. Because at the end of the day, if people are sharing content from within Byte outside to other social media networks such as Instagram, Facebook, that can lure people into the application. But to be able to do that, you need those really good creators that are encouraging people to come and check out the new Byte app. So the second point that I have to make is that I think that Byte needs to definitely focus on privacy. And the reason is, look, privacy has been an issue with a lot of tech companies lately. But one big, I would say, lesson to keep in mind is Facebook. Facebook has dropped the ball many times when it comes to privacy. And, they've had their issues where they've had to pay fines because of the data that they've allowed other unauthorized people to access. They're able to maintain the privacy of their users, and they're able to build that trust that can go a long way, right? Right now, one of the, I would say, issues that some businesses or governments are thinking about is really TikTok and the privacy concerns there, because the company that owns TikTok is a Chinese company, and you don't know what can be happening with all that data that TikTok is collecting. So that's one of those, I would say, opportunities that Byte has to be able to build that trust and really think about privacy so that people feel good about using the application without feeling like they might be risking something by accessing it. Now, for the third point, I think that it's important for Byte to think about how they're able to innovate past the 6-second videos. And the reason is that you have a bunch of different applications that are copying each other, that are innovating new features. And Byte has to be able to do something that others potentially can't. That way it establishes that, I would say, advantage over other social media applications. So for example, TikTok, apparently what is going around is that TikTok's algorithm allows people who don't have followers to be able to have a chance at getting views for their videos, and that essentially helps encourage people to create content. And that, I think, is something very interesting. You also have the example of Facebook and Instagram and how they took some of the tools that Snapchat had, in this case the video aspects, and they made it better. And that is why Instagram is still growing, and people are using videos, in this case stories, more now than ever. So to recap, Byte is essentially the revival of Vine. And do I think that it can survive? I think that it's still too early to tell, but it's going to face a really tough challenge to be able to grow and take some of that market share from other social media applications that have been around for a while and are constantly innovating to keep their users happy. So with that being said, if you like this video, make sure to give it a like and to subscribe to my channel so that you're able to stay in touch with me and to watch my other upcoming business related videos. I hope that you were able to learn something new from this video. And with that, thank you very much for watching this video. My name is Franco Aquino, your business vlogger, and I'm out.